Do you let companies know how you feel about them? According to a recent survey, 81% of people who experienced a problem in their last shopping trip in store didn't complain about it. I don't understand. Having people stay silent is also a big problem for companies because 32% of those non-complainers said that they were unlikely to recommend the retailer to friends or family and that they would spend less in the offending store. That is terribad for business, guys. I found it weird that so many people wouldn't complain, though. I thought that with modern life, it's all about easy access to complaining on Twitter and Facebook and all these other places. It's never been so easy to complain to a company as it has been today. What about you guys? Do you voice your anger when you have a bad shopping experience, or do you silently take it and let the slight fester inside you? Lewis, what do you do?
I have to say, so most of my shopping I do online. The times I buy in store, even if I do have a bit of a complaint, I'm one of the types that I won't say anything. I'll just like, oh, whatever, like I guess when I go in store to shop, I try not to deal with people. I just like grab what I want, pay for it, and I'm out. However, if I buy something online and let's say it's like, a week late or something like that, or even a day late, I'm making a point to complain via Twitter or via email or whatever. So it's kind of weird that if it's a person that slights me, I won't complain. But if it's some sort of mechanical or automated error, I'll be the first one up in arms.
I kind of see where you're coming from with that because I don't know if it has something to do with me not wanting another person to feel bad or maybe I'm worried about repercussions. But if another person is involved, I will tend not to complain. I won't even put like a negative review online about it because I don't know. I think somewhere inside me I'm worried that the review is going to get back to that person, and if I go back into the store, they'll remember me, or even if I don't, they'll like hunt me down online
Right,
somehow and
but I,
like.
I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, let's say like I walk
Oh,
into
I don't. I'm just terrified of people. I'm just terrified.
walk into like a store and everyone's horrible. There's no customer service. Everyone's like really in a bad mood. I'm like, all right, maybe they're having a bad day. I'm like, it's not a big deal.
Right.
That I tend to do that way too often. So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Like there is also that feeling of like maybe they're just having a bad day. Why should I complain? But it turns out companies want you to complain. I guess, even though it's terrifying for us. Dan, what do you do? Do you complain? Do
I
you?
Well, let me just tell you this. I actually used to be a non-complainer
Hmm.
until about, what was it, 9 years ago or something. I took a negotiation class, like how to negotiate things, and they gave me some great tips on how to complain in a way that is non-threatening to the person you're complaining to, obviously, and how to get a great deal out of it. So I actually started using those techniques, and when I run into like a bad service problem, like at restaurants, that's the only time I'll probably not complain because people handling your food, you don't really want to make
Yeah.
them angry.
Right, that's what I'm talking about, those repercussions. So,
Right.
so can you share some of these tips with us? First is like tip over the table, right? When you want to
Right, yeah, just flip the table over like that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
actually, but when you're in a store and you have a product, like let's say you buy a shirt, you take it home, you find out that like it's sewn wrong on the inside and it just doesn't fit right. It's like you can take it back
and
and
throw it.
you can light it on fire and throw it at the person. No, but like take it back up to the counter and complain, and then just but complain nicely. 99% of the time, people will respond to you if you complain courteously. Like say, hey, this shirt doesn't really work, and what can you do for me?
Mm.
Sometimes they'll either just exchange the shirt. Sometimes they'll even give you some money back,
Mm.
or they'll give you a gift card or some sort of compensation for your time. I
See,
yeah.
mean,
I have such a problem with confrontation that I feel like I get so worked up in those situations that I just
right.
assume that people don't want to help me, and it's totally on me, and that's why, like Lewis, I shop online because I know I'm half of the problem when
Well,
it
but
comes
if
to
you
like,
go in there with the attitude of like, if you're not aggressive and angry and like slamming your fist, if you go in and say, "Hey, look, I normally don't complain, but this happened, and I'm really sorry. But is there anything we can do?" 9 out of 10 times, they have a built-in budget for compensation for people,
Right.
and they want to give it out. In fact, they get encouraged to obviously not give it out. But if you press them, that I've gotten like gift cards and money off and money back on a product, and all you have to do is make a request. That's the bottom line.
You're
If
like
you
the
make a
Zen
request-
complainer.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You just kind of like mellow out and kind of complain about stuff, man.
Work them up a little bit, you know.
But now I will say this: that if I'm really upset about something and the Mr. Nice Guy routine doesn't work, I will amp it up a notch.
That's when
I
you
will.
totally Hulk out. And,
Yeah, I mean, you guys know me. I'm like the most easygoing guy on the planet. But it's like I can be fairly direct and succinct with the person, at least to get me to the next management person in charge
Sure.
who can take care of the problem. And
As you kick down doors, getting to those management people.
this candy bar wasn't very good. Slamming it on the counter, throwing at people.
Well, that's how we handle bad customer service. Dan kills them with kindness, and Louis and I just avoid it altogether. So that's our 2 cents. What's yours? When you have a bad shopping experience, do you complain to the company, or do you just let it go? Tell us how you handle this in the comments below. For DealNews.com, along with Louis Ramirez and Dan Ledbetter, I'm Jeff Summergy. Goodbye.